Yeah, come on, man. Do me a favor. Subscribe and like, for goodness sake. Well, hello, yeah. Another episode, and probably the most important one yet. Yeah. The big question on everybody's lips is, has Anthony Joshua, Femi, Gay J been publicly buck broken? Yeah. Is he a broken buck? You know, he doesn't look very confident now. He's wittering about this, that, and the other, and I need to do this differently, and yeah, the problem was I was trying to box, innit? And I got to go back to, using my power and whatever, man. He's a fool. Imagine being world champion for several years, right? And all the amateur stuff and gold medalists, undeservedly, though that was, and still not knowing, the right tactics to pursue, and being trolled and talked into into boxing, because you wanted to prove to Tyson Fury that you can box, innit? You ain't no stiff bodybuilder, fam. And if anyone, actually believes that Joshua believes that, they're a muppet as well, And little Eddie Hearns would have taken him aside and, AJ, just, we need to come up with a story, a PR story to sell it. How, even though you got completely flushed by Usyk, outboxed and almost stopped, we need to come up with a story about, why it happened, what you're going to do different, AJ, look, I suggest you say, right, this time I'm going for the kill, I'm going to use my strength and power. Unfortunately, I took the wrong tactics because I wanted to prove to everyone, that I could still box, and especially after the Ruiz fight too, because then AJ, you were boxing like the Nigerian Muhammad Ali, but those weren't the right tactics for Usyk, and we're gonna win, we're gonna have a great camp. What do you think about that, Anthony? Right, we can sell that story, AJ. Yeah, we can really sell that story to all the muppets, and then they'll all buy the pay-per-views and come to your fights and go, Anthony, Josh, it'll be just like the old days, won't it? What do you think? Anthony? Yeah, blood, I don't think we should spend money in their shops, innit, fam? Anthony, I mean, about the fight, how we're going to sell it. Oh, yes, sir, Masa Eddie, yes, sir, Masa Eddie. Yeah, straight away, Masa Eddie. Whatever you want, innit? Yeah, that sounds good, fam. So what is it? His confidence completely seems to be gone, He looks like he reminds me of like a young girl, a real young girl, yeah, who's about to give her first hand job. She's not very confident about it. She's never done it before. She doesn't really know what she's going to do and what's going to happen. And, when the nut comes and, she's just nervous, very nervous. That's what Ege's like to me. Yeah, I mean, you think about it, Usyk is just the latest guy to rinse Joshua out in the ring, Obviously, Ruiz battered him, yeah. And, in the lead up to that fight, Joey DeWaco, who's like some fat white guy, battered him allegedly in sparring, knocked him out. And that's why, that's why Femi was, his ass was like flapping. And there was problems with the AKA skins in their relationship. AJ had got up to, I don't know, some bizarre orgies in America and rituals. He'd done the old thing where they, people that Illuminati, they've always got that black eye, so come out with a black eye. I mean, that could have been just big fat Joey DeWaco smashing him, but there was something going on, Because Skins was not invited until 5 days before the fight. So, he's been bashed around a bit, but it's like the Usyk seems to be the final nail in the coffin of the broken buck, yeah? He's just lost it now. Usyk not only outboxed him, not only weighed, 30 pounds less, yeah? But he almost stopped him as well, So what, I guess, before we go on, what does it mean? What do you mean by broken buck? By a buck breaking? It's an old expression from back in the slave days, right? when, you get an unruly slave or whatever, especially a big muscular one, and apparently, he'd be causing trouble, so they put him out in front of all the other slaves and give him a good beat down, a whip down, a real bad one, and painful one, so that everyone could see what happens if you're unruly, if you become uppity. And let me be straight before people start crying about racism. Yeah, I'm of a mixed background myself, which is it makes it easy for me because I can speak about whatever I want, man. All right. So stop crying anyway. And if you're one of them crybabies, SJWs, this channel's not for you. Go back to reading The Guardian. Go and look at IFL, and don't come back. So the old style of butt breaking was a real good hiding. But then you get this man come along. He's a writer or filmmaker in America called Tariq Nasheed. Yeah. Now this guy, he's people say, oh, he's a bit of a rabble-rouser. He's trying to cause trouble. I mean, remember, right? The whole racism and race issue exists because it's manufactured by the media and politicians. Why? To meet their own ends. Number one, they want a mixed countries. All the Western European countries, they want it to be mixed so that there's no glue to bind people together. Everyone from different backgrounds. They wrote they wrote tracts about this. There's a plan. It's called the Khaledi plan or something, and so it's all part of a plan. So that's number one. They want to ensure that people will be happy for immigration. It's number two, and this is real important. You keep your power by fear and divisiveness. Divisiveness is probably an American word. It doesn't exist. So you divide people up. You make them hate each other. Like I said, the man is not getting on with women. Black's not getting on with white. Muslims not getting on with Christian, and blah, blah. You carry on. So there's division all the time. People just fight amongst each other. Yeah. While the real puppet masters are just watching and enjoying and using them. So just remember that. But this guy, Tariq Nasheed, I don't know much about him. He seems a bit fruity, very fruity, if you look at his Twitter. And he's made some movie called Buck Breaking, right? Yeah. But he claims that, according to him, instead of a beat down, a whipping, that the overseer, whatever, the master, would take his biggest bucks out, yeah, his biggest, his biggest, most muscular slaves and unruly ones, yeah, and in front of all the others, yeah, he would whip down their pants, yeah, and he would sodomize them, yeah, again and again and again until they were broken and they were humiliated. Listen to this. This is one of the women who's on Tariq's show, or whatever it was, film, buck breaking. And here she is talking about buck breaking.
When we talk about buck breaking, we have to understand that buck breaking is a show of power. It's a show of dominance. So we can't talk about buck breaking without talking about power.
Yeah. So, like as I said, this Nasheed Tariq guy, apparently he's obsessed with, I think it's some kind of weird fetish, man. He's obsessed with this buck breaking thing. That's what he tweets about. And he's got this. Allegedly, yeah, he's found this machine, this ancient steam machine, right? That rotates. It's like an old motor, yeah. And at the end of this machine, yeah, there's this, I guess you said it's a dildo, an old-fashioned dildo. And as the steam goes round and around the dildo, it goes back and forth. And according to Tariq, this new machine was taken around to break all the bucks sometimes if, the actual overseer didn't want to do it. It sounds nuts. And a lot of people think he's just nuts and he's kind of making it up and he's got some weird fetish for being broken in. He's probably been butt broken himself. Loves it. Seems to love it. Anyway, so back to Gay J. As I said, within a short period of time, when Femi's the top dog, yeah, that's probably the only time he has been a top, because we know that sexually he's a bottom, yeah. But so in a short period of time, he got smashed by Dwayko in the gym. Yeah. He got smashed by Ruiz and knocked out. Yeah, he had that pathetic rematch win, but, Ruiz didn't train. It was pathetic, man. This fat thing, walking around the ring, waddling around the ring, getting, outboxed just by Joshua sticking out his long arms. And then Usyk broke him down, All those three guys made AJ the bottom, yeah? All of them. And even though Ruiz KO'd Femi, Usyk's beatdown was so, I guess in some ways unexpected as well, but as was Ruiz. But the thing with Usyk is he looks so much smaller, and he got comprehensive. He could do anything with Usyk, yeah. And Usyk just made AJ his bottom in his own town, right? Because Ruiz happened in America, which is Ruiz's homeland, but he's born there, and even though he's of Mexican origin, but Usyk doesn't care, man. Usyk is the massa. Yeah, he's a top massa. He flies around the world to box the best, and he doesn't care. He goes to their backyard. He went to Joshua's backyard in London, bottom Joshua, or rather, he topped Joshua and made Joshua the bottom, smashed his ass to smithereens. Yeah, and the question again is Joshua buck broken? Is Usyk like the buck breaking machine? Yeah, that goes in and out of Joshua and that's finished him for good. That is the question on everyone's lips. And the weird thing about Anthony Gage is that he likes to come across all proud, doesn't he, when he's got his Nigeria wisdom tattoo in it. Yeah, he goes on about BLM. Yeah, don't shop at their shops, in it, fams. Yeah, and how he's been caught saying he's from the superior race and all this stuff. So it seems like he's a proud buck warrior. Yeah, but he just loves a good old hiding. Yeah, a good old beatdown, a washing, a whipping, yeah, from white guys. If you look at his record, yeah, so you got, even in the amateurs, Majidov beat him, yeah, and then you got Mihai Nistor gave him a buck breaking, yeah, in the amateurs, right? Of course, Camarelli was robbed. He'd also slapped him up, but in the Olympic final, because AJ is the golden, batty boy. Yeah. And then he moved into the pros. You got Ruiz, fat white guy, smashed him. No. I know people are going to say, oh, he's not white. He's a Latin. He's Mexican. Listen, man. I mean, he's got white skin, pale white. Yeah. He's got pink nipples. The only races on earth that have pink nipples are white. Yeah. You don't have to be blonde, blue-eyed to be white. That's just like, no one has that definition. So I'm taking a broader definition here. Then, as I said, the man Usyk, the king, came over. The buck breaker, the overseer. And you take the big buck, Anthony Johnson, out in the middle of the ring, in a huge arena of all the Joshua fans going, there's only one Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, all those clowns. Most of them are white as well, strangely, they buy into the Joshua myth, and Joshua, he's so amazing, Joshua, and he's so humble, bruv. Yeah, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't get anything, but I would, did it? I would. Those kind of clowns, casual Joshua tip lickers, they were just nut huggers, right? So you've got these idiots, but Usyk, like the general, like Napoleon Bonaparte, like Caesar, just waltzed in confidently and got the buck broken in style in front of all the other Joshua fanboys and lovers. I had a friend, and he runs a pub, and he was laughing as Joshua got ass whipping. And then some people came in later, and they'd been like, they're all white, obviously, because most of Joshua's fans are white, even though he seems to hate them. But You can talk about he's from the streets and he's a hustler, but you know, he's not. He's just a fool, a media manufactured fool for the casuals. Anyway, this guy said like a bunch of guys that actually bought tickets and big Joshua fans wearing Anthony Joshua t-shirts, you know, and they were like really down because their King Buck got an arse whipping, yeah, which is funny to me. So yeah, there is one exception, yeah, to the white guy whipping of Joshua, yeah, and that's Dillian Whyte. He was the first guy to beat Joshua early on, smashed him up again, put him over. Now, according to Tariq Nasheed, right, sometimes when they were buck breaking the bucks, yeah, they would get other slaves that had been, you know, that shown their value and they've been taken on board a bit. I think again, remember, I'm mixed, so I'm allowed to say this, but they called them like house negros, you know, sambos, and you know, who are basically like who's that guy called, man? Is it Samuel L. Jackson or whatever in the film called Django Unchained? And with Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, he is like a house negra. And, you know, they work for the man. So occasionally they would join in the butt breaking. And so I see Dillian Whyte was probably hired, you could say he's a bit, you know, by the overseer to buck break Joshua early on. Yeah, and to me, so, you know, for me, Joshua's finished, you know. He's like been made a bottom by all these guys. You know, he's like, you know, one of those bucks that was taken out and they wheeled out the steam machine. Yeah, and that steam machine was Usyk. And he just topped Joshua all over the shop, smashing him up, humiliating him in front of all his fanboys, you know, whilst Massa Hearns was watching too. So, in answer to the question, has AJ been conclusively buck broken? Yeah? Are we dealing with a broken buck? Well, it certainly looks that way. He's been finished off by Usyk. He's done. He's roasted. Yeah, he's cooked. Right? And they don't need to bring out, you know, the butt breaking machine for Joshua because it's already been done by Usyk. And if Usyk fights again, he'll break him again. But you can't break a man twice. He's already been butt broken. But he'll just get the remains of the buck, just smash him for fun. So, what have you got? Buck status broken conclusively. And this, guys, is what a butt breaking looks like. Watch this.